Llewyn Corn, Episode 2. It had been 4 days since my last gig, a door money bash at the Blue Trunk in Elephant and Castle. I sighed as I looked out the bathroom window into the bleak urban wasteland of Deptford. The rain was streaming down the window pane, or perhaps it was just my tears. Things never used to be like this. Back in Wales, I was a superstar, a ripe young buck with more money and middle-aged women than you could ever dream of. But times were different now. I needed to meet more people in the London jazz business. I saw an ad in the Evening Standard newspaper for a London jazz networking event. My eyes lit up and my heart sang. This was exactly what I was looking for. The event was to take place at Lewisham Conservative Club on Thursday, the 18th of July. Anybody in the jazz industry could go to the event. I suspected that it would include loads of managers, artists and club owners. Definitely worth the trip. After Gino had finished scrubbing me in the bath, he's very particular about my appearance, he dried me off and dressed me in my lucky waistcoat, bow tie and pork pie hat. I sprayed on some Lynx Africa, added some dupe aftershave to my cheeks, and then we headed off in his Honda Civic to the event. The venue was terrible. A small, grotty, uninspiring place. It clearly hadn't cost much to hire. Gino's crippling OCD kicked in as we arrived. He refused to touch anything or shake anyone's hand as he said the place and people were dirty. As I looked around the room, I started to recognise some of the people there. The owner of the Big Ben Jazz Club, Terry Braithwaite, was drinking an ale in the corner. He had latched on to a pretty 20-something blonde singer named Jenny Calzaghe. She laughed at his every word as if he was the world's greatest comedian. But let me tell you, he was no Philip Schofield. They were interrupted by Norfolk heavyweight sax player Tony Childs, who wanted to give his new CD to Braithwaite for a potential gig at Big Ben's. Braithwaite was eager to focus on the pretty singer, and within 30 seconds he managed to accept the CD, promised to listen to it and say his polite goodbye to Tony, and then get back to Jenny Calzaghe. Club owners could be so cruel. Loads of singers kept coming up to Gino and myself. They thrust their business cards on us. If they were attractive enough, Gino would ask to represent them, promising them the world and his place as a practice room 24/7. Just don't accept the drinks, girls, that's all I would say. The evening was going smoothly. Then Rupert Reed came into the room. I just knew he was going to show up at some point. He still felt pretty bitter after I slaughtered him at the Cutting House Jam session. Our eyes caught each other's. He made the first move by walking over to me and holding out his hand. "Evening, Louis," he said bravely. "Evening, Rupert. I didn't think you'd come tonight. Gigs dried up, have they?" I replied. He forced a smile, then walked away to the drinks table, selecting a bottle of Peroni, which he made quick work of. I decided that I needed to relieve myself. Those 5 Coronas had gone right through me. So, off to the toilet I went. As I entered the first cubicle, a voice called me from the other cubicle. "Llewyn Corn, back from the dead," it said. This startled me, and I was now unable to do a wee-wee. "Who goes there?" said I. A calm, confident voice beamed back at me. "Bernie Johnson at your service." I had heard a lot about Bernie Johnson. He had quite a reputation on the London scene. He was a fine bebop pianist with the charm of the Count of Monte Cristo. Ladies loved him. It's said that one time at Barry's Blues Club on Cumberland Avenue, he managed to seduce a beautiful lady whilst playing Cherokee in 11 keys. He would have done 12 keys, but by the 12th chorus, he was already in the back of a cab going back to hers. He was also pretty handy with his fists. Many a jam dispute had been sorted with a Bernie Johnson Krav Maga showcase. In short, he was exactly the kind of guy I needed on my team. We left the little boys' room and rejoined Gino at the drinks table. Bernie had a proposition for me. He said he had been looking to put a new crew together. The London jazz scene was getting increasingly volatile, and he needed to mix with guys who could not only swing hard, but punch even harder too. He needed guys who could handle themselves, and word about town was that I could do both. Bernie was putting together a group of musos able not only to do it at the jazz clubs and festivals, but also prepared to do function gigs for hard cash, no questions asked. The kind of gigs that the taxman needn't know about. As Gino ironed out the details with Bernie, a ruckus erupted by the fire exit. All heads turned to the commotion. Rupert Reed was being throttled by free-thinking jazz harpist Drew Greco. Apparently, Drew wasn't happy about Rupert's views on free online music streaming. The situation was really escalating as Rupert took an elbow to the right cheek. As much as I considered Rupert an enemy, he was still a trumpet player, and I just couldn't let a fellow trumpeter take a beating. Not on my watch. I hurled a bottle of Peroni across the bar, catching Drew on his forehead. Stunned and furious, he turned to me as I surged towards him, unleashing a spinning back kick of epic proportions. It caught him on the jaw, putting him out for the count. Team Trumpet 1, Harp Society 0. I helped Rupert to his feet as he thanked me for saving his arse. Harping on a bit, was he? I said. I could tell everyone was laughing on the inside as Drew wriggled around on the floor, mewling like a newborn kitten, anxious for its mother's teat. Gino, Bernie and I left the building and went to get a drink somewhere else. You handled yourself well in there, fella. I've got some guys I want you to meet, said Bernie. And thus, the Evening Standards were born.
Thank you for listening to Louis Horne Jazz Diaries. Like and subscribe so I can shoot Louis up in the stars. God damn it, subscribe to this damn channel or I'll come over and make you press that button with your little finger. So now you can see him shining with his bebop power. Louis Horne is coming.